Hey y'all, Farmer Dre back at it. It's a rainy day here on the farm, and I'm out here in the greenhouse just trying to get out of the rain. But we want to go ahead and show you guys. We started cleaning out the greenhouse here, getting everything ready for 2021. So slowly and surely, the next couple weeks here, we will be starting tomatoes for next spring for high tunnel number 1. So we start about 8 weeks in advance before we need to transplant them. So from the last week of at the middle of February, you know, to have a nice healthy plant, we gotta start tomatoes about the middle of December, and the 1st of December is right around the corner. So you know, always got to start planning and getting ready for the next growing season. But since it is a rainy day here on the farm and it's cold, I'm gonna be doing too much today because it's supposed to rain for the next couple of days, and this time of year there's not much going on here on the farm. But if you're not planning ahead and getting things going, then you know summer's gonna creep up on you, and then you're gonna realize that you didn't have everything planned out as you should have. So you know what they say, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. But you know, in my opinion, an ounce of planning is better, you know, than summer creeping up on you and then you have nothing absolutely finished. So yep, everything is starting to slow down here on the farm. Fall is here, winter's here. In the next couple of weeks here, it's supposed to get down to real cold, so got to start putting on the row covers on the strawberries. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys our high tunnels here, and then we'll see what we're gonna do the rest of the day. So it's a cold, wet day here. It's not too terribly cold. I say it's cold, but it's about 45 degrees. But look at these tillage radishes right here. These things have been growing. So it's kind of nice whenever everything's kind of dying outside. Not really dying, it's going to dormancy. Then you come in here and everything is nice and green. So these tillage radishes, they'll start putting on some true leaves. Like that one right there. They're going to start producing us some nice root system there. And then whenever time comes, we'll come through, till it under. And hopefully, I'm hoping that there's enough time between now and about the first week of February to get these completely developed and growing, so that could do the purpose. I know daikon radishes take a little longer than regular radishes, just because they got such a much bigger root system to get growing. But like I said, this is an experiment. We're trying this out. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to work or not. Maybe a cover crop of ryegrass or something, some other type of grass with a lot more green stuff on it would work better for the soil. But you know, you always live and learn, just try new things out. But this cover crop is coming in real nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the strawberries out of number 2 here. There's a lot more green stuff in here, a lot more growth. And like I mentioned in my previous video, we do have another high tunnel coming out on Monday. So Monday we'll go pick it up, and then we got a couple jobs with Val to finish installing another couple of tunnels, and then we're gonna go ahead and start installing the 3rd one here on the farm. So it's gonna be another 12 foot from the edge of this one, and then hopefully next spring we get another one here on the farm. So as you guys know, I probably haven't mentioned this on my YouTube channel yet, but my goal on this farm is to have at least 15 high tunnels, because 15 high tunnels is 1 acre. It's exactly 1 acre under plastic. So that's my long-term goal. That's my goal in the future. You know, it's always good to set goals, and I've said that since day one. Since we got our first high tunnel, saw how well it did, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have 15 high tunnels one day. So I'm just sticking to it, you know, 1 year at a time. And I'm guessing with a lot of hard work and dedication, it can be done. But I want to go ahead and show you guys in here something pretty cool and awesome. So as you guys know, these Monterey's have been growing real nice. We got to come through over time and pull off these flowers. There's a few little strawberries growing on here, but I left one strawberry in here in particular to see how these Albions taste and grow in the high tunnel. So look at that, one Albion strawberry. It's a little smaller than usual just because, you know, there's not enough sunlight and it wasn't warm enough for the full strawberry to develop. But I've done some reading, and they say that strawberries growing in the fall more towards winter have a better, sweeter flavor than strawberries that have been grown in the spring, Just it has to do something with the cooler weather, and it increases the sugar content inside the strawberry themselves. But that one still needs a little more ripening there, another couple of days maybe. And usually with strawberries, you know, whenever they're turning that whitish color, so whenever the berry grows, it grows green, and then it turns like a whitish color, and then it starts turning red. Out in the field, you know, in a couple days, that process is done over with. This one started turning red like on Tuesday, and it's Saturday, and it's still not 100% red, so it takes a lot longer to ripen. But enough strawberry talk. Now let's go ahead and head in and talk about next year's tomato crop. So our third high tunnel is gonna be put up right here, so we got to move this electric fence and some of this paneling. And I told my dad, as long as we have flat land on top of this hill, because once you reach those tree line there, it goes down in a pretty steep valley there. But on top of the hill here, I told my dad, you know, as much flat land as we have, we're gonna put as many high tunnels as we can here. And then if everything works out great, I'm gonna start putting some on my property, on my farm, behind the strawberries there. So it's just a, you know, always, like I mentioned earlier, you gotta always think ahead, plan ahead, because if you have a good plan to begin with, then the process goes really smooth. But if you're just kind of sporadically doing stuff, it just makes a big mess. You're never gonna get anything done. Nothing's gonna get complete. And then at the end of the day, you're like, man, I just wasted my time. So we're always thinking ahead, planning ahead, always doing that, just because, you know, with a good plan, anything is possible. I am out here in our store now, and nobody's in here because we don't open for another hour or so. But anyways, like I mentioned earlier, with the whole tomato thing, it's a good thing to plan out. And I'm not gonna have the same thing that happened last year, where, you know, I start my early tomatoes and I completely forget about it and don't start the second high tunnel until later on, and then it's too late. Then I'm forced to buy tomato plants from somewhere else, then it just turns into a big mess. So this year I'm actually planning out the exact dates on my calendar on my phone, so I can set an alarm whenever I need to germinate. So usually with tomatoes, it's usually 4 to 6 weeks before you plant out in the field. But since we are growing them inside under grow lights for a couple of weeks, I'm gonna go ahead and start them 8 weeks before we need to transplant them, just because it takes a lot longer time to get them growing. Some people think you need a fancy place where you gotta buy the most expensive stuff, but as you guys see from all my videos I do on YouTube here, especially on my tomato videos, I've been starting tomatoes in the same location for the past 4 seasons, actually 3 seasons. We'll be doing our 4th season this year. And so far we've seen great success with that. We've been having good luck with that. But one thing I'm trying this year is I'm trying some new grow lights out. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys those in a minute. So I had this company reach out to me, and you know, they asked me if we do use grow lights on the farm. And I told me I would do a little bit for our tomatoes early on in the season for the first couple of weeks before we move them out in the greenhouse. So this year I'm trying grow lights from this company, and I'll show you guys exactly how it is. It took me about 30 minutes to unbox everything, and I was trying to figure things out, but that's what the instructions are there for, so you guys can read them. And I finally looked at the instructions, and everything makes sense once you read the instructions, but until then it took me quite some time to unbox everything. But you guys ready to see where my germination chamber is? Alrighty, so you go in our cider room here. Perfect. And if you guys guessed it right, and if you guys been following my channel for quite some time, you guys know that my germination chamber is in our utility room. So I just get these black crates here. I put 4 128 count cell count trays in here and then turn it on. So these are the grow lights I used last season. And I think these are the ones I just bought off of Amazon. They did good. I mean, they produced a good crop of tomatoes. But over here, this is from Marsh Hydro. And like I mentioned, they reached out to me and asked me if we do use grow lights. And like I said, it took me about half hour to put all the controllers in and plug them all in. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on here. So look at the brightness of that. They're all LED lights there. And these guys, this company here specializes in indoor growing. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them out a try this year. It comes with all these cables in here, all the fancy stuff. And one thing I like about this is that it has an adjustable light. So if your tomato plants or whatever crop you're growing underneath, the light is still small, you just adjust it. And then it has a switch on the back here that if you click that switch, it goes to full power. So with this one LED light here, I'm not gonna need, I have 2 of them here last year. I'm only gonna need 1 of these, and I'm gonna adjust the height as needed. And the cool thing about this LED light here is that you could add 3 or 4 different, all you gotta do is buy just a light, because from these channels here where you plug them in, you could just have different LED lights in the same room, same spot. But one of these will do our job here. So if you guys want this exact LED light, go ahead and click the link down in the description box below, send it to their website, and use the discount code Farmer Dre. Full name Farmer, no space, Dre. Dre is capitalized. I'll just type it right here on the screen, and then you guys will get a percentage off if you guys use that discount code. And check them out. Like I said, I'm going to use them for the first time this year, and you know, I've been doing some research on their company. They do a lot of indoor growing, a lot of good stuff. So I'm excited to check, you know, use their LED light this year and see how it is, and if it should work out. But if it doesn't, I'll go back to the old trusty Amazon one. So we'll give this season a trial and see how it goes. But from everything I've read from this company, they've done good stuff. They do, like I said, they do a lot of indoor growing stuff. So, and I really like the adjustable stuff, because as the tomato plants will get bigger and bigger, I could just adjust the light and the light strength as much as I need. But yeah, and they only do the white and the red lights there. So same as last year, the varieties I'll be growing are Red Deuce and Carolina Golds again. And in our third or second one, I might try some, Johnny Seeds has some BHA 589. I want to try some of those out, maybe a couple rows, see how they go. But this year in high tunnel number 1, I'll be starting Red Deuce and Big and Carolina Gold. But I want to try some indeterminates. I told you guys, and if you guys watch my channel, you guys know that I'm not a big fan of indeterminate tomatoes. But since we are trying to get tomatoes a lot earlier than everybody else in this area, our goal is to have tomatoes ripe by the first week of May. And with the determinates, they are usually about 2 weeks later than the indeterminates. So I'm going to try maybe 2 or 3 rows of the big D-nut tomatoes and see if I can get the production a little earlier. It does take a lot more time and energy to prune them, to stake them up. But if we get the production 2 weeks earlier than that variety, to get some earlier tomatoes, because 2 weeks in the spring makes a huge difference in sales, to be the first one at farmers market with farm fresh tomatoes. As you guys know, I'm always trying to progress, trying to do things a little better, trying to do things a little more efficient. And you know, a lot of times all these things that I'm doing, you know, you might fail, and that's just part of it. But it's not about how many times you fail, it's about how many times you get back up. And you know, it's about how fast you get back up from those trials and the failures, and just become a better person, a better farmer. And for me, just trying to do the best I can on the land that we got to be as sustainable as possible. Well, this is gonna be pretty much it for today. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you guys are interested in more tomatoes, you guys can go ahead and check out some of my older videos, or stay tuned for this year or next year, because this year it's still 2020. So for next year, like I mentioned earlier, we're trying a few different tomato varieties. We're gonna keep doing the same. And this year we are only growing high tunnel tomatoes. We are not growing any more tomatoes out in the field. In the years past, we've tried that, and it doesn't make sense. Tomatoes just hate growing outside. I mean, I can't grow them outside with good quality to be able to sell it compared to the high tunnel tomatoes. So like I said, we're putting up another high tunnel here in a couple weeks, and if you guys want to know and see how we build that, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you guys can be part of my YouTube family here. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Make sure to hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I do upload a video. I want to say thanks for watching up to this point. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time.